My name is Jacob Reimer, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Neuroscience at Baylor College of Medicine. And I think it's important to talk about my research, and that's why I'm here with my friend Stacy, and we're going to talk about a little science today.
What topic do you research?
So we do a lot of different things in the lab. It's all with mice. The sort of main focus of my lab is trying to understand how we transition between moments of being really focused and paying attention to moments where we're kind of spaced out and daydreaming. And I don't know if you have any trouble with that, but it's something I struggle with. So it's always been interesting to me, like, how we can transition from one state to the other, and why we're not always just awesome and laser focused and paying attention. Just like us in mice, they have moments where they're kind of more spaced out and more not paying attention to the world. And then there's moments where they're super alert and they're processing all the information from the environment, and they're really tuned in to what's happening.
And what do you find about your research that is so interesting?
Well, I'm interested in the brain. I would like to understand my own brain. Have you learned anything about the brain here at school? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah? I actually have some pictures of a mouse's brain that I could show you if you want to see it. Yeah? It's actually like a really big project that I was involved in. What we did is we had a mouse at Baylor. We did some recordings to try to understand what different neurons in the brain we're responding to in the world. So we're looking in the part of the mouse that responds to the visual world, and that's in the back of their head. And we did some recordings in this mouse, and then we actually took that same region that we studied, and we zoomed in. This is at the Allen Institute, and they actually took these amazing pictures of the brain. So let me show you what's inside a mouse's brain.
Why do you use a mouse brain to study the human brain?
Okay, well, that's a great question. We have a pretty good sense that a lot of the pieces we want to study in humans, obviously, I care about the human brain. Like a mouse brain is great, and no offense to mice, but I really want to understand the human brain. But what we find is that like a lot of the pieces are there. So there's a lot of, even though the mouse's brain is like just a fraction of like your brain, it has a lot of similar organization. Like a lot of the like neurochemicals that I'm interested in, like acetylcholine and norepinephrine. Those are neurochemicals that are used in the mouse the same way they are in humans, and so we can like really study them and understand them. So I'm going to zoom out here. This is like the side view of a millimeter cube. So you know how big a millimeter is?
Oh yeah.
So a millimeter cube of a mouse's brain. This is a side view. So it's kind of like you're looking at a loaf of bread and like half the loaf is gone. So you're looking at the side. Because what they did is they actually did all these slices, 25,000 slices in that millimeter cube. And so if you zoom in, you can see what's in there. So all these dots here, these are neurons, like the colored dots. And I'm gonna keep zooming in. Okay, so this is one neuron's like cell body, and this is the nucleus. Maybe you've heard about the nucleus. Yeah, that's where all the DNA is. And if you keep zooming in, what you can see is like there's all these little things here. And these are all like the wires that connect neurons in the brain. And there's so much of this wiring, it's incredible. So here on this side, you can see what an actual neuron looks like. So see this is like the neuron's cell body, and then it has this giant branch that's coming out, and this is like where it gets all the information coming in from other parts of the brain. And then every neuron has a wire going out. So see this thin piece here? That's called the axon. And that's where it sends signals out to other parts of the brain.
Yeah, I know that.
You heard that? Okay, cool. What's so amazing about this tiny millimeter of a mouse brain, like how much wiring do you think this is?
Like over 1 trillion?
Yeah, probably in terms of branches and stuff, there's probably like 1 trillion. But in terms of like, if you laid them all end to end, like so if you took every little branch and laid it end to end, how long do you think it would be?
Like really long to go like across space.
It's over 2 miles.
Oh wow.
So it's not, I don't know if it'll get you to space, but it's pretty far within this millimeter of a mouse's brain. And you have in your brain like 1 million times that Like, so your brain is awesome. So if you ever wake up and you're like, oh, my brain is not that great, which I do sometimes, maybe you don't do that. Like, you should think like you have a million times this complexity in your brain. It's just like really, really incredible.
That's all I have for today.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, sure. It's nice to meet you, Stacey.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, nice to talk to you. Good luck.